All right, Sunday, June 8th. This is the Lion Channel. I'm John. Day 38 of my manifesting journey. Yesterday, as I said, um, a long day for us, but it was a fantastic day. And I wanted to share this because what I'm really starting to realize is that it goes from a belief to a knowing. In terms of the law of assumption, falling asleep in your wish fulfilled, everything I talk about here, that I shared from David's videos, is seeing the world as a simulation and just noticing glitches over and over again. But what really has been solidifying it for me, and this is recently, is when I find myself in these similar situations. Like yesterday, my daughter's performance. She was singing some performing lead vocals on 4 Taylor Swift songs. She's 9 years old and she knocked it out of the park. It was just, she did this one song. Oh man, All Too Well, it's called. And it was the second song she did, and I was sitting there, and we had recently watched American Idol and with her. And so there were certain performances in American Idol where, just the way the performers were singing, like almost brought me to tears. Because the music was just so beautiful. And yesterday when my daughter was singing, I actually felt that way during this one performance, All Too Well. And it was just, she just crushed it. So that was just a really great experience. And, like I said, she's 9, and our family is, has both my wife and I, our families have a history, a musical background. So it'll be fun to see how this plays out. And, as long as she continues loving it, which I think she will, then she's got a gift and she's going to really begin sharing it with the world. I can already see it happening. But she has had many performances before. And each time she has a performance, my family is there, my wife's family is there, and a lot of, not a lot, but all of the times, okay? Every single time before this time, when I knew a performance was coming up, as I talk about, not a whole lot, okay? Because it really feels like I'm talking about somebody different. But the person I used to be, I was thinking of my thought process, like how that was different. And maybe you can relate to this currently or previously, but first of all, I'd be looking at it as something I have to do instead of get to do, like I talked about yesterday. So I was looking at yesterday, even though I really didn't choose what was happening in my life yesterday, I still looked at it as a get to. All right. So I was already going into it with a different energy than previously. Okay. And my thought process leading up to yesterday previously would have started with thinking about the people who were going to be there that I didn't want to see, or that maybe I wasn't looking forward to seeing. And then it would start with that thought, and then it would snowball. Okay. And not only would it affect my presence at my daughter's performance, it would as I said, snowball, and it would seep into the rest of my day, which would be the drive up to, it turned out the drive was only 2 hours, not 2.5 hours, but it would seep into that 2 hour drive up to my wife's niece's sweet 16 party. And my mother-in-law was in the car with us. And I can tell you that yesterday was the first time that I've ever experienced a drive or a encounter with our family for that amount of time, which everything was just fantastic. Okay, there would always be moments of drama or tension or raised voices, always. Okay, and none of that happened yesterday, to the point where my wife and I were at the Sweet 16 and we were talking, and I had brought up how joyful and just pleasant the car ride up was, and how good of a time that we were having. And so I really brought up the fact that, and this will start to happen if you fall asleep in the wish fulfilled, you will start to influence your external world, which includes the people in your external world. So when you begin coming from a place of love, okay, which is the highest vibration and the highest frequency that you can come from, instead of a place of some kind of negative emotion, okay, anxiety, fear, depression, the state that I was in previously, and you're just consistently in a higher frequency, even when you encounter people who previously, maybe your encounters were quote unquote negative, and they had been for the longest time. Now it's almost as if, because you are at a higher frequency, you pull people up with you. And Abraham Hicks talked about this when I was, applying those teachings and listening to the law of attraction and studying that, and just, trying to feel good. But the law of assumption, the difference is there's no trying here. There's no trying. This is all effortless. This is me falling asleep consistently, just falling asleep as if I'm the person that I want to be, that has all of these things that I want to have. And my life is transforming. It's just, I'm just becoming that person. And every day I wake up and I'm like, wow, I love like who I'm becoming. I always wanted to be this person. I always, like, think about you right now. Like, first of all, if you're watching this video, you're curious. You're curious to see either what happens with me if it continues, or you're just curious about the law of assumption. But you have some kind of curiosity there where you either are applying this to your life, or you maybe in the future want to apply this to your life, because you wouldn't be here watching this video right now. Something drew you here. Everything is happening for you. So if you're here watching this video is for me, but it's also for you. I get to share the information, but at the same time, the information I'm sharing is also for you. So, and you can change just like I'm changing. We all come from the same. I was talking to somebody on David's school today. She said she looks at all of us as God sparks. I was like, oh my God, like, that is just Probably the greatest term. Like I have chills right now after just saying it. You're a God spark. We're all sparks from God. And it's just like it's and she also said this because that this is and this was happening for me today. So I could talk about this in this video and try and convey this message. Like I feel like I'm returning to being love, as I talked about in a previous video. It's funny how it all comes back to love. And so when you come back to love, even the people who were quote unquote difficult and negative, when you're love, everybody is a spark from God. And so when they are around you, they feel that love. They feel the genuine, eh, pure love that you're exuding. Like I said, it's effortless. It's not a trying love. It's not me doing it because I know it's the right thing to do. It's doing it because it feels so good for me and I just want to do it. Like when I sit here and I say I love you all, I seriously love everybody because we are all one. And so even though I don't know you or I haven't met you, I love you. You're watching this video, I just want you to feel that. I just met somebody on David's school. She started making comments last night. And it's like, and I like love her. Okay. And it's love that is like, it's a love, it's a unity because we really are all one. And so my point is that I'm really starting to realize, and it's becoming a knowing that it has become a knowing that this is how it all works. And these are the moments that I notice it when I go back into these similar situations that I've been in previously. And then the Sweet 16 party afterwards. And I'm seeing all these same people and I'm remembering how I felt previously and just kind of like where I just sat in a corner because I didn't know anybody. And just kind of waiting for people to come up to me and maybe talk to me. And at that point it's tough to hold a conversation because I'm sure they could feel my insecurities that I'm superimposing on them when they come to talk to me. And so, and it probably sounds crazy because that's not who I am now. That's not the person you're seeing in this video. It was a different person, but it's the same. It's just a different energy. I'm the same person physically. It's just a different energy and it's a different state of consciousness and it's effortless. And so when you're thinking about the person you want to become, because I've done this previously, and I was listening to Joe Dispenza, another one of my teachers that I haven't mentioned on here. I was listening to him a few years ago and I would do his meditations. And in his meditations, I was envisioning myself in the house, with all the money that I wanted. And it was just me, my wife and I that I would picture in the meditation. And sometimes it was just me. And I could feel myself there so clearly, but it felt empty because at the end of the day, it was just stuff. And I was still the same person. So it's like, if you're, again, going back to the lottery, if you're trying to manifest a lottery win or just manifest something selfish, all right, just a windfall of money to come your way. And right now, you're not the person you want to become. You don't have a ton of friends. You don't really talk to your family. when you get all that stuff, and this is how this is how I thought it was going to work. Once I get all the stuff, then everyone will want to talk to me. I'll like at that point I was thinking like I would command respect. Like people, but if you're the same person when that happens, nothing is going to change except now you can pretty much buy whatever you want. And even the people who are going to come and see you, it's still the same energy. It's just going to be coming from a different place. Now you're going to be expecting them to react to you differently. It's still not coming. It's not going to be coming from love. And so it's not going to be fulfilling. So, but you can use this to do whatever you want. But I'm just telling you what I'm experiencing. Like, this is a manifestation. Okay. I already have the millions of dollars. I know I know it's here. It's just not in my hands yet, but I know I have it. I know I'm the person who has it. Okay. And I'll be able to physically show it to you. I have no doubt. In one of these videos, I will be able to show it to you. Okay. If I need to. But I can tell you right now, the way I'm feeling and the things that have been happening, especially with people that have been in my life for the longest time and we haven't had strong relationships, and now I'm able to come from a place of love. The way these relationships are transforming, that's worth more than millions of dollars to me. It's just like everything else doesn't even hold a candle to it. Everything else that's coming, I know it's coming, but it's not even gonna it's not gonna have as close to the impact as I always thought it was gonna have, because ultimately this is what I really wanted. I wanted all the money and all of that stuff and the house because I figured the people would come and see me differently. But ultimately what it comes down to is loving yourself, coming from a place of love, and then everything just comes to you effortlessly. All right, so I was really feeling I just finished my gratitude crash course yesterday, day 7. I'm not sure if that had anything to do with today's video, but I really was like just overwhelmed. I am right now. I'm overwhelmed with love, and I just want to share that. And this is day 38 of my manifesting journey. My life has transformed in more ways than I can explain. Also, I just wanted to mention I used to have allergies every year at this time of year. Okay. No allergies. All right. So I just kind of realized that. So you can, another manifestation. And then one more thing I wanted to talk about. You know what? I'm going to save that for the next video. I feel like I covered what I wanted to cover in this video. And I love you all. I love you all so much. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I hope you continue watching. I hope you, if you haven't, decide who you want to be. Start falling asleep as that person, and you will, if you do it consistently, you will become that person, and it will be effortless. It's just such an amazing ride. All right. I love you all. Enjoy your night, and I'll see you tomorrow.